Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us for pricing at tmosso@the1916company.com. Today we're discussing a model launched in 2015, part of the then new Vacheron Constantin Harmomy collection. This is the Harmomy Dual Time, and this was a 2015 launch because the model you see here with blue numerals, polished white gold hands, and a very special custom engraved rotor. This was the 260th anniversary model, a one-year variant of the Harmomy Dual Time. In white gold, this tonneau profile Harmomy Dual Time is a large watch. So 40 millimeters is the distance from 9 to 3, not inclusive of the crown, but it wears larger than that because it's tonneau shaped. 48.9 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. It is 11.6 millimeters thick with a very broad 23 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, don't think of this as a 40 millimeter watch. Don't even think of it as a 48.9 millimeter lug to lug watch. There's something about a tonneau case or a rectangular case or a square case or a cushion case that just wears large. So I invite you to consider this almost like a 42 millimeter round watch in terms of how it wears, and be advised accordingly. So you can see that it is a fairly flat watch with a sloped flank. So as any good dress watch should do, it'll slide underneath a formal cuff. When you look at my wrist from over the top, I am pulling the strap tightly, and this angle exaggerates the width of any watch. So your truest angle to gain a sense of its size is probably going to be down the barrel, just like this. And you can see it's getting near the edge of my wrist, but it's not quite there. And I'm also pulling the strap very tightly. So I could recommend this wrist, well, for this watch. So I would say 16 centimeters circumference and larger, your arm is going to wear this watch well. Anything smaller than 16, remember mine is 16, you're going to have trouble wearing this watch. Taking a look, we have a lovely semi-gloss black rectangular scale, symmetrical scale, alligator leather strap. These kind of rectangular, large symmetrical scales are always indicative of very expensive and fine cut of the hide. As you can see, a semi-gloss finish. We have a edge that is cut and lacquered for refinement, a monotone stitch on the bottom. You can see alligator leather again, small round scale alligator leather, and no crimping, no gouging, a brand new Vacheron Constantin factory strap. The purpose of using gator on both sides is that it's a longer wearing, longer lasting strap. More expensive, yes, and often by hundreds of dollars, but a watch like this is worth it. We have here a matching white gold folding clasp. You can see inside, combination of polish and media blast. We have this Maltese cross motif inside. We also have it on the buckle. It is the symbol of Vacheron. You can see Unrock, which is the clasp manufacturer's name, Cornu, spelled backwards. Vacheron is not a case and clasp manufacturer. Movement manufacturer, yes, but not cases and clasps. Taking a look at the case, it is it's a hybrid of a tonneau and a cushion case. So it's not quite a malt, which would be a pure tonneau case, but neither is it round. So this is more of a cushion profile, the kind of watch that would have been popular in the early days of the wristwatch in the 20s and 30s, and a period to which Vacheron repeatedly refers in its modern design. And of course, based on a historic Vacheron Constantin timepiece, it does have roots in the company's actual history. There is another Maltese cross on the crown. You can see that we have a case that is smooth, polished. This is white gold, but it's gray gold. Gray gold is an upscale 18-karat white gold that doesn't need any white metal plating such as rhodium. So it's white all the way through, and it doesn't need to be plated, and it can't wear through to a different color. You can see that there is a little cushion profile that acts as the bezel on top of the case, and then there's a flange adjacent to the sapphire which features a slight box section but not much cambering. On the dial side, we have a dial that is truly white, not silver, white. We have blue numerals in a lovely pre-Art Deco font, more Art Nouveau than Art Deco, and that is typical of the cushion case era. You can see the hands at center. One, a spade hand, or sometimes referred to as a pair hand for the hour, assegai or spear hand for the minutes. And then we have a Lancet-style counterweighted seconds hand. We also have a second time zone in a 12-hour format and a little AM/PM indicator with a white gold moon and a rose gold sun to represent the day and the night. You can see each of the sub-registers is countersunk into the dial, has a polished chapter ring, and then a concentric pattern in its base. So if you wish to set time, you can do so independently here. You can see how I am adjusting the second time zone independently, but also take note that the minutes are fixed relative to each other. So you can jump the time in hours, but you cannot set this watch, for example, 15 minutes offset between the 2-minute hands. But you have that day-night indicator, so even though the reference time is in a 12-hour format, you know, for example, that you are looking at right here 12 midnight, because the little index is pointing at the white gold moon. Now, when I pull the crown out all the way, everything adjusts in sync. You will note that the watch does feature hacking or stop seconds. Flipping it all over, this rotor is really something special. A 22-karat rose gold mass. It features a combination of a hammering technique, satination, snailing, and engraving. And the engraving in relief rather than with depth. A truly unusual and exquisite treat for the owners of this 1-year-only 260th anniversary model. Now, of course, the Harmony dual time continued after 2015, but not with this dial and not with this rotor. The movement is the 2460 dual time. It's a variant of the 2450 and 2460 Vacheron automatics. So you can see it uses ceramic rotor bearings to efficiently wind the 40-hour power reserve. It has a 4 Hz beat rate, stop second, chronometer style, and high horology standard 5-position adjustment. All of this pivoting on 27 joules. Geneva hallmark finish, so you can see all of those fine flourishes you would expect on a movement bearing the Poinçon de Genève, the imprimatur of quality for watches made to the proper standard inside the city or canton of Geneva. And since 2012, it's been a whole watch standard of quality. So you can see the stamp of Geneva, the hallmark, the Poinçon on the case back as well as on the balance cock. Beautiful movement, nicely decorated, everything you would expect of a Vacheron automatic inside a case that is 30 meters water resistant. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.